So hello everyone, welcome to Shivam's classes. In today's lecture we are going to discuss problem number 11, 12 and 13 from chapter 3 and exercise 3.3. We have already discussed problem number 1 to 10 in previous videos. Please go ahead and watch these videos. And in today's lecture we'll start with problem number 11, and just like any other lecture we'll first try to understand the concept behind the problem and then try to solve the problem. So now onwards the problems are mostly formula based, and we got to remember the formulas which we had derived in the previous section. So the very first problem here, the 11th problem, talks about something in terms of cos of some angle minus cos of some angle. So we know there is a formula which we had derived wherein we had cos C minus cos D, and we would have minus 2 of sine C plus D by 2 into sine C minus D by 2 for that. Alright, so you can see here this formula which I was talking about. This is basically, this formula is cos theta minus cos of phi equals to minus 2 of sine theta theta plus phi into sine theta minus phi by 2. So this is what we are discussing here. I am writing in terms of cos C minus cos D. So if you assume 3 pi by 4 plus x to be C and 3 pi by 4 minus x to be D, your LHS would remain. So if you are assuming, your LHS would become cos C minus cos D, and then this will reduce to what? Minus of 2 of sine of C plus D by 2 into sine of C minus D by 2. If I put back the values over here, what will I get? Minus 2 of sine of C is 3 pi by 4 plus x, alright, and your D is what? Your D is minus 3 pi by 4 minus x, so plus of 3 pi by 4, and then you have to say minus of x, and then whole thing will be divided by 2. Alright, because this is your C, this is your D, right? This is your C and this is your D. This is what we had done now. And now if you multiply again with this sine C minus D by 2. So what is your C? Again 3 pi by 4 plus x. Alright, minus what you got here is 3 pi by 4 minus x. So you will put 3 pi by 4. And then minus of x is there, and then there is another minus sign, so this will become plus of x. Alright, divided by 2. Now when you look at this expression, 2 of sine of this 3 pi by 4 plus x, and then there is minus x, so this x and this x will cancel out, and here 3 pi by 4, 3 pi by 4 will cancel out. So here you will be left with 1 3 pi by 4 here, 2 3 pi by 4. So you will write 2 into 3 pi by 4, and whole thing is divided by 2. So I am writing it 1 by 2. Similarly on this side I am writing sine of, this is 1x, there is 1x, so there is 2x over here, 2x divided by 2. So 2 cancels out, 2 cancel out. So we are left with minus 2 of sine of 3 pi by 4. Alright, into sine of x. Now just like previous examples, can we write 3 pi by 4 as pi minus pi by 4? Why? Because if you subtract this from pi, then you will get 4 pi minus pi divided by 4, right? So we'll get minus 2 of sine of pi minus pi by 4 into sine of x. Another thing to note here is, when we are doing this, this is my pi from here to here, and I am going back into this direction just because there is minus pi by 4, right? So this is my 3 pi by 4 from here to here. This is what it was, 3 pi by 4. Now this is gonna be a second quadrant where my sign is positive, so this will come to minus 2 of sine of pi by 4. This will be positive, sine will be positive because sine is positive in second quadrant, alright, into sin x. Now we also know the value of sine pi by 4, isn't it? So if we know the values of sine pi by 4, we get what? We get, so we know the values of sine pi by 4, right? So we'll write minus 2 of sine pi by 4 is nothing but 1 upon root 2 into sine of x. This will go, and then here it will be root 2. Then we will be left with minus root 2 of sin x, and this is what probably we had to prove on the right hand side. Yes, minus root 2 of sin of x. So we will write this equals to RHS, and this is proved. So in this particular example, we had to remember the formula, this cos c minus cos d, and this how to reduce 3 pi by 4 to pi by 4, and then it is going to be in second quadrant. So there are three concepts, one being this formula, second being this thing, and third being you knowing that sin theta in second quadrant is going to be positive. Alright, let's move to the next question. So my next question talks about sin square 6x minus sin square 4x. Again, you got to know some formulas over here which we had derived. So if you remember, cos 2x was nothing but 2 times cos square x minus 1, or it was cos square x minus sin square x, or it was 1 minus 2 sin square x. So cos 2x had all these ways of writing. So what we can write here is 2 sin square x is nothing but 1 minus cos 2x, or we can write sin square x equals to nothing but 1 minus cos 2x by 2. We can write it either way, right? So now look at the left hand side in this problem. Your left hand side is sin square 6x minus sin square 4x. What if we multiply it by 2 and divide it by 2? So I am just dividing it by 2 and writing like 2 of sin square 6x minus 2 of sin square 4x. Now looking at the formula on the right side, we have just got this 2 sin square x is nothing but 1 minus cos 2x. So 2 sin square 6x will be what? So instead of x, we will put x equals to 6x, for example. Then what we will be getting here is 2 sin square 6x equals to 1 minus cos of 2 into 6x will be 12x. So 1 minus cos 12x, right? So let's put that over here. We write 1 minus cos of 12x. And similarly, minus 2 of sin square 4x can be written as 1 minus cos of 8x. So all you got to do is you have to remember whatever be the theta over here or angle over here, that will double. So 6x doubles to 12x, 4x doubles to 8x, right? Now let's open the braces. So what will happen is if you open the brackets, it will become 1 minus cos 12x minus of 1 plus cos of 8x. Alright, so your minus and minus 1 will cancel out, and you will be left with here 1 by 2 into cos of 8x in minus cos of 12x. So now you got to know the formula of cos c minus cos t, right? Cos c minus cos t, which is nothing but what? 1 by 2 into minus 2 times sine of c plus d by 2, which is nothing but 8x plus 12x by 2 into sine of c minus d by 2, 8x minus 12x by 2. So what did we write over here? We just wrote cos c minus cos d equals to nothing but minus 2 of sin c plus d by 2 into sin c minus d by 2, which we did in the last example as well. So now when you come over here, what we will get is this 2 cancels out, and then you are left with minus of sin this 12 and 8 becomes 20. 20 divided by 2 will become 10x into sine of this 8x minus 12x will become minus 4x divided by 2 will be minus 2x, right? So I am just writing here just for you to know 8 plus 12x, 8x plus 12x by 2 is again 20x by 2 equals to 10x, and 8x minus 12x by 2 equals to minus 4x divided by 2, which is nothing but minus of 2x. So this is what it is, and we know that sine of minus x is nothing but minus sine x. So we'll take that out and then put it as plus minus minus plus. So this will become sine of 10x into sine of 2x. And if we look at the expression, this is what we had to prove on the right hand side. So this is what is my RHS. If you want to rearrange it, you can write it like sine of 2x into sine of 10x, which is nothing but what we have on the right hand side. So this is also proved. So here again, if you look at the concepts, you know that there is one formula need to know is what is cos 2x in terms of sine square x. You also need to know the formula for cos c minus cos t. So these two things, if you know, you will be able to solve this problem. So this is the first thing, and this is probably your second thing. This is all you got to remember. Alright, now moving on to the third question for the day, and that will be your 13th question. So this is again going to be using the same principle which we discussed in the last example. So what did we say? We said that 2 cos square x is equals to 1 plus cos 2x. So this is what we are going to use over here, and let's use our left hand side again. So our left hand side is cos square 2x minus cos square 6x. So again we multiply it by 2 and divide it by 2. So it will not matter because because the 2 will cancel out. So 2 cos square 2x minus 2 cos square 6x, right? This equals to 1 by 2 into, now 2 cos square 2x becomes what? It will become 1 plus cos 4x, right? Why? Because when there is 1x over here, this becomes 2x. Because there is 2x here, that will become 4x. Similarly, this is 6x, this will become 12x. This will be 1 plus cos 12x. Now this 1 and 1 cancels out. Now again we are left with 1 by 2 into cos of 4x minus cos of 12x. Again this is the formula for cos c minus cos d as we did earlier. So this is 1 by 2 into 2 times not 2 times, this is minus 2 times sine of c plus d by 2, 4x plus 12x by 2 into sine of c minus d by 2, 4x minus 12x by 2. Right, what did we write again? Just to reiterate the point, cos c minus cos d is nothing but minus 2 times sine of c plus d by 2 into sine of c minus d by 2. This is what it is. Alright. Now my 2 cancels out and I am left with minus of sine of 4x plus 12x will become 16x and divided by 2 will become 8x, and this 4x minus 12x becomes minus 8x divided by 2 becomes minus 4x. So sine of minus 4x. Now take the sine minus out because sine of minus x is equals to sine x. So minus and minus will become plus, and I can write this as sine 4x into sine 8x, which is nothing but your RHS, and this is what is proved. So in all three problems you could see that we are using this formula cos c minus cos d. In previous problem we used cos 2x formula in terms of sin x. Here we are making use of cos 2x formula in terms of cos x. Alright. So these formulas you need to remember. You can as well derive it, but If you remember these formulas, then your problem solving will become much easier. Alright, so this is all we had to discuss in today's lecture. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a nice day.